The view from the pro wrestling ring shines gloriously. No matter what disappointment they may face, or how pathetic they may seem, they will always be met with applause, as long as they fight with conviction.
入場で戦っている姿にお客さんが勝とうが負けようがやっぱり拍手をくれる。このスポーツがプロレスなんですよね。
お前にはここしかないんだ、リングしかないんだ。本当そう言ってくれた。本当プロレスの神様に僕は本当救われたんだと思いますね。
When the bell sounds off, wrestlers show what they're made of in the ring. Win or lose, it doesn't matter, because that's what the fans come to see.
憧れる存在になれるようになりたいですね。
What drives these men with dreams and failures to get in the ring? The fight against oneself is in the ring, inside each wrestler's heart. Get in the ring. March 2018. Chikuzen Ryota, president of Kyushu Pro Wrestling, a non-profit organization based in Fukuoka, southern Japan, visited a certain sponsor. Officially, he's come to report on his organization's activities over the past year, but he's actually here for something else.
本当にもうご支援のおかげでレスラーを数人雇用できたんで、それでこう訪問させるですねできる施設も増えたような形で。
NPO 法人っていうプロレス団体ってあるのかな？
ないと思いますね。
ないよね。
Chikuzen finds the right moment to bring up the issue.
もう一つちょっと今日お話があるのは、今度その7月にやる予定にしてますの我々の10周年の
こういうのって初めて？
そうですね、はい。
でもよく10年続いてるよね。頑張ってますよね。
いやもう本当に応援のおかげです。
They will hold their anniversary event at a large venue that can accommodate 10,000 people for the first time. His challenge, which could even be called reckless, has already begun.
ありがとうございました。失礼します。
もう変わんないことは今もプロレスの可能性を信じているというか、プロレスならもっと多くの人を元気にできるっていうそれがもう常に動かないですね、自分の中で。
In 2008, when he was 34, Fukuoka native Chikuzen established Kyushu Pro Wrestling with 8 other wrestlers.
博多でプロレスを通して街を元気にしたい。プロレスを通して九州を元気にしたい。
It was a start from nothing, but Chikuzen's passion attracted former colleagues to join him. Once he established his organization, he rented a portion of a car repair shop in Fukuoka City to open their dojo. 1 year after establishing the organization, they had 10 wrestlers on their roster, but business was not going well. There were months where the monthly salary of wrestlers was less than 100,000 yen. Most wrestlers had other jobs and could only join the weekend training.
まあ本当気がついたらあっという間にこう最初に用意したお金なんてなくなっちゃって、あとはとにかく人がいなかったんで、とにかく一人で何でもしなくちゃいけなかったっていう。
When Chikuzin established the group, he made sure that it would become a registered nonprofit organization. It was a manifestation of his steely determination for his organization to contribute to the local community for a very long time. Born and raised in Fukuoka, Chikuzin adored popular Japanese anime wrestler Tiger Mask as a child and picked up pro wrestling while he attended university. After graduating university, he moved to Mexico, where pro wrestling is popular. For 3 years, he trained in Mexico and experienced the explosion of excitement that fans and wrestlers together made at every event. His time in Mexico made him realize that wrestlers were supported by the cheering and love from fans.
声援を送ってるのがそのおじちゃんおばちゃんからちいちゃい子たちまで、まさに僕らがその子供の頃見てたタイガーマスクのそのお茶の間の風景が会場にあるような感じだったんですよ。それがやっぱり自分の中での確信につながった部分がありましたよね。そのプロレスはどんな境遇にある人も元気にすることができるっていう。
Kyushu Pro Wrestling, with its catchphrase, "We're going to energize Kyushu," has been hosting 40 shows and events every year in cities across Kyushu. They have also visited facilities for the elderly and the disabled to entertain those who cannot go to their events. In 10 years, they have visited about 800 of such facilities.
また違う種類の戦いにはなるんですけども、僕にとってはもう戦いであることに違いはないですね。目の前にいる人を絶対に笑顔するっていう、その気持ちでやっぱこういう施設にも伺ってるんで。よかったね。
These visits are proof that pro wrestling can cheer up anybody. 4 years after establishment, they expanded their activities to Asia and started a project to establish a pro wrestling organization in Cambodia.
我々は地域に希望を示さなくちゃいけないっていうのは常に使命感としてあったんで、その一つの表れなのかと思いますね。
Children who have lost their parents in the Civil War, or those who work to support their families, gathered at a field where the ring was set up. Seven months after their tour in Cambodia, a young Cambodian came to Fukuoka.
おお、あれだ。来た来た。おお。待ってたよ。おお、待って。おお、いらっしゃい。おお、よく来たね。
This is Som Somnong, age 19. Despite his small physique of 160 centimeters and 55 kilograms, his dream is to become the first Cambodian pro wrestler. His first goal is to build basic physical strength and muscles and to put on 30 kilograms. In order to help Somnong realize his dream as soon as possible, Chikuzin invited him to stay at his home. This was to help Somnong adapt to his new life.
本当も彼はそんな中で本当一人すごく孤独を感じると思うんでですね、本当もう子供たちの力を借りて、なんかうまくその日本の生活を軌道に、乗せてほしいですよね。
Chikuzin's aim was to create a hero for the children of Cambodia, to revitalize the country damaged by civil war. Two weeks since Som Nong's arrival to Japan, training was getting increasingly tough. He first needed to strengthen his body to prevent injuries. Chikuzin supported Som Nong by working to improve his basic physical strength. The training was much harder than what Som Nong had expected. Som Nong was beginning to have second thoughts. Ultimately, the situation unfolded in the worst possible way. Three months after his arrival, Som Nong comes to the dojo with his interpreter.
Well, 彼がこういう決断をしつつあるっていうところで彼を責めるつもりはないんでですね。
After 3 months in Japan, Som Nong returned to Cambodia.
それなりの人間にこう選ばれる団体に慣れてないっていうのがこう身に染みて、今もそうですけど、やっぱそういう意味ではどれだけこういい人材に我々が選ばれるかっていうところが大事かなと思うんで、まだ我々がそういう選ばれるところまで来てないんだなというのを感じますね。
The dojo has fallen silent. Many youths joined the organization since, but none of them stayed for too long. 7 years since the establishment of the organization, Kyushu Pro Wrestling held a tryout. Kyushu Pro Wrestling was looking for young wrestlers who could lead the next generation. As applicants dropped like flies, one young man completed all of the exercises they gave him with ease, overwhelming the others in stamina. High school student Nozaki Kodai is an integral member of his high school's prestigious judo team.
もっともっとトレーニングやって根性は自信があるんでできる自信あります。
Influenced by his father, Nozaki started judo at age 6. He flourished as a key member of his high school's prestigious judo team. Once he finished high school, he joined Kyushu Pro Wrestling as a trainee. Already equipped with high physical strength, he surprised his senior wrestlers by showing drastic improvement.
Okay.
強さももちろんですけど、そういう部分も、ああいう人になりたい、ああいう人憧れる存在になれるように、はい、なりたいですね。
8 years since establishment, a large earthquake struck Kumamoto. It happened the day before their big event.
本日の大会ですが、開催自体をどうしようかというふうになりましたが、
してでも元気をお届けすれば、そういう思いで開催に踏み切らせていただきました。
The scheduled event became a restoration event wherein donations were collected for the earthquake victims. Every member of Kyushu Pro Wrestling participated to help out. Among them was Nozaki, who was still a trainee waiting for his chance to make his debut. Kyushu Pro Wrestling continued their fundraiser campaign throughout Kyushu and looked to hold events in afflicted areas.
まさかの事態じゃないですか。あそこまでその九州がピンチになること今みたいにですねないと思うんで、本当こういう時こそ我々が立ち上がらないかん時なんかなという思いですよね。
4 months after the earthquake in Kumamoto, Kyushu Pro Wrestling finally turned their wish of holding an event in Kumamoto a reality. Watching his senior wrestlers energizing the crowd, trainee Nozaki became increasingly inspired.
そのリングに立ってお客さんに伝えれるものがあると思うんで、そこをですねやっていければと思ってます。
Nozaki was suddenly told when he would debut. It would be at an event to mark the organization's 8th anniversary in Karatsu, Nozaki's hometown. Founding member, Mentai Kid, suddenly called Nozaki to the ring.
野崎光大、本当ならお前がこのリングに立って唐土を背負ってプロレスを皆さんに、唐津の皆さんに見せるべきじゃないのか。はい、9月11日デビューして唐津の皆さんに勇気を与えろ。分かったな。はい、ありがとうございます。
His debut date was decided at an unprecedented speed, just 5 months after joining the group. Around 1,400 people came to the anniversary event where Nozaki made his debut. It was the unveiling of Kyushu Pro Wrestling's long-awaited next-generation wrestler. To become the idol with irrefutable strength, Nozaki could not lose his debut match. 'He goes up against a senior wrestler, 4 years older than him. Nozaki couldn't have wished for a better opponent. With their pride on the line, the two go at it hard, head to head. The heroic battle between the two wins passionate applause from the audience. The opponent was caught off guard for a split second, and Nozaki capitalized on it to celebrate his debut match with a glorious victory. It was the moment Kyushu Pro Wrestling's next generation wrestler was born. Now that he's made his debut, Nozaki's workplace is officially the Square Wrestling Ring. But although he got an impressive win on his debut match, that was the start of his battle against anxiety. His successful debut match was followed by fight after fight against very experienced veterans. He was no match for the veterans and suffered consecutive losses. Chikusen mercilessly crushed Nozaki's weak mind, which was hindering him from furiously showing his fighting spirit.
何のためにプロレスをするのかっていう、何のために戦うんだっていうところを一番そうですね、僕らから吸収してほしいですよね。
A wrestler with an irrefutable body and overwhelming power. That's what Nozaki aspired to be.
負けて本当悔しくて情けないんですけど、でも負けてですね、通路を帰るときに背中越しにですね拍手を受けるという、自分の生き様が伝わったんだなというのを背中から感じることができます。諦めない心、立ち向かう心、そういったものをですね体現できるのがプロレスだと思ってます。
Even after he exits the hall, the fans do not stop applauding. Nozaki was brought to tears for the first time. It's not just about winning. What are fans looking for in a pro wrestling match? Nozaki was searching for the answer to that question. On this day, Baten Burabura, a senior of Nozaki, will instruct him.
正直言ってそういう体を使った稽古っていうのは
Baten is Kyushu Pro Wrestling's only comedic wrestler that can make the audience laugh. For the training session, Baten takes Nozaki to a familiar shopping street near their dojo. His intention is to cheer Nozaki up, who has lately been on a losing streak.
このまま帰ろうか。
すみません、自己紹介よろしいでしょうか。九州プロレスの佐賀県唐津市出身、19歳の野崎光大と言います。よろしくお願いします。はい、九州プロレスの佐賀県唐津出身、19歳野崎光大と言います。よろしくお願いします。頑張ってください。
Nozaki had been unsure of what kind of spirit he should step into the ring with, but by speaking loudly, he was able to shake off those worries. Before he knew it, he was bringing smiles to everyone's faces.
いろんな人がやっぱ頑張ってとか言われるんですね。やっぱそうやって僕も勇気だったり元気もらったんで、やっぱ一人で生きてるんじゃないんだなって、結局自分次第なんですけども、やっぱり周りの人に支えられて、本当そうやって周りの人に応えるために頑張らないといけないなっていう、そういうのをこう分かってほしいなっていうのがありましたよね。だから若手のね、今までこう何人かこう去っていきましたけど、このプロレスの素晴らしさ、ぜひね味わってほしかったんですよね、デビューして。本当楽しいしね、最高なんですけどね。
What is expected from a wrestler other than winning? The answer to that question is in the ring. Nozaki was gradually changing from trying to impress in the ring to putting on a performance that speaks to the audience.
お客さんに伝えるこう試合でいろいろ感情を伝えるのがプロレスだと思うんですけど、やっぱり人が出ると思うし、そこにやっぱ中途半端な気持ちでやっててもそれがそのままお客さんに伝わったりすると思うんで、施設訪問とか行って自分のお話をしたり体見てもらうだけでそれで笑顔になる人がいっぱいいてくれて、うちの部分も全部伝わってるのかなって思ってますね、自分は。伝わってたらいいなとは思います、常に。
A homecoming event is held in Nozaki's hometown. Nozaki, who came in with a new outfit for this day, had gone through a transformation. His opponent is the Kyushu Pro Wrestling Champion, Genkai. He's been wrestling since the year Nozaki was born. A seasoned veteran, he's wrestled for many organizations in the past. Nozaki has little chance of winning. Chikuzen watches his disciple fight in the ring at his hometown. In the ring, Nozaki was courageously taking on his opponent. The only thing that was on Nozaki's mind during this match was to show everything he had.
I あいつにとってはやっぱりふるさとのリングこそがあいつの一番の舞台だからこそ今日この日新しいコスチュームを着ることを選んだと思います。あれがもうあいつの気持ちが全てだと思います。これがもう本当に嬉しいですね。
December 2017. Two brothers in Toho Village, Fukuoka, were looking forward to a pro wrestling event. This is Izumi Haruto in 3rd grade and Takuto in 1st grade. The wrestler that the two are looking forward to see is
やっぱ明太キッド。ピンチになってもちゃんと勝ってくれるか。
The two became fans of Kyushu Pro Wrestling at their village's annual autumn festival. Since then, they would go to the event every year. But the 2017 event was postponed due to bad weather. But the event was rescheduled. So Mentai Kid is once again coming to their village.
サインとか？
サインが欲しい。サインもらえるといいね。
多分もらえないと思うけど。
どうして？
普段はそんなにないからそんな機会って。
The heavy rain on northern Kyushu in July 2017 left the boys' hometown severely damaged. That day, the two could not return home from school and had to spend the night at their school.
一晩、この子たちは一晩泊まったんですけど、二晩泊まった子もいるし、もうそれはもう不安だっただろうなと今思い出してもやっぱりね、辛い思いさせたなと思いますね。
The two brothers hope to get an autograph. They will get to meet Mentai Kid in 2 days. Mentai Kid, the star wrestler of Kyushu Pro Wrestling, visits a local nursery school before participating in the event in Toho Village. The group continues to visit and energize disabled people and the elderly who cannot go to pro wrestling venues. His muscular body, attained through hard training, has brought smiles on many faces. Unfortunately, it's raining on the day of the charity event. Yet, more than 300 people came to show support. Haruto and Takuto have brought signs they made themselves to cheer on Mentai Kid. 3 matches were held this day. The audience watches in awe as bodies clash violently. Some parts of the performance feature a comical twist, and gradually, the wrestlers and the audience become one. Finally, Mentai Kid takes the ring. Mentai Kid showed how to convert cheers into strength, especially when he's in trouble. It was his way of encouraging the community afflicted by the heavy rain disaster.
Mentai Kid. 元気を出していくしかないと思います。こういった形で東郷村の皆さん、村の外から来てくれた方々の笑顔、そして喜んでくれる姿を見て 本当に良かったと思ってます。
Fans mingle with the wrestlers after the matches. Haruto gets the opportunity to get Mentai Kid's autograph.
元気取った？いつもありがとう。また会おうね。握手。ありがとう。またね。
Dreams will come true if you pursue it without giving up. If you work with a strong will to restore your hometown, you will certainly succeed in doing so. And
みんなの力でこの大羽村だ。
their charity activities help with the restoration of afflicted areas. The wrestlers' encounter with President Chikuzen greatly influenced them to hold these charity events. Chikuzen's passion for pro wrestling is what attracted all of these wrestlers.
もう九州プロレスはもうみんなそうだと思います。だからこそ筑前がいないと成り立たないんじゃないかなと、九州プロレスは。
2018 was Kyushu Pro Wrestling's 10th anniversary. The organization gathered its fans and sponsors to hold a debriefing session prior to its anniversary event.
昨年は276の施設に元気をお届けすることができました。本当にありがとうございました。
Kyushu Pro Wrestling has survived for 10 years. The golden age of Japanese pro wrestling is far in the past. The popular belief is that running a pro wrestling organization is not possible. However, this group has been making progress, and Chikuzen says it's all thanks to his colleagues.
みんなこう挫折した覚悟を持ってるんですよね。で、プロレスで食えなくて、一回辞めたりとか、自分がいた団体がこう倒産しちゃったりとか、怪我で、ずっと欠場を続けてたりとか、みんなそれぞれなんですよね。
It was Chikuzen's sense of camaraderie that made him decide to install a ring in the hotel ballroom this day.
みんないろいろな自身のドラマを背負ってこの九州にやってきてくれました。彼らは選手をやりながら、営業をやりながら、今をやりながら、そして命を懸けてリングに上がってくれてる。僕らはどうしてもその彼らが輝く舞台をたくさんの人から見られる、その舞台を作りたい、そう思って10周年大会福岡国際センターを抑えました。
July 2018, they started preparing for the anniversary event. Of the nearly 100 pro wrestling organizations in Japan, only a few get to hold events at this large venue. A mid-sized organization like Kyushu Pro Wrestling holding an event of this scale may even seem reckless, but Chikuzen wanted to get his comrades up on the ring in this venue to mark their 10th anniversary. The day before the anniversary event, Chikuzen was at home with his family, doing what fathers do. He's a father to one boy and 3 girls. He has been able to stay a full-time pro wrestler to this day, thanks to his family.
ものすごく愛情深いですね。何に対しても誰に対しても、いつでも同じ感じなんで、特にね緊張して張り詰めてるから 気を使うとかいうこともないし。
He finally gets to perform at a huge venue after 10 years. It's an opportunity that he claimed together with his comrades. The day has finally come. The venue overwhelms the spectators that enter. Approximately 2,300 fans from all over Japan gathered to see the show. Before the matches, members of Kyushu Pro Wrestling expressed their gratitude. The atmosphere became electric as soon as the matches began. Surrounded by excited fans, the wrestlers shined in the ring. The audience didn't hold back at all in cheering for the fighting spirit of the wrestlers. The venue roared when this particular wrestler marched in. Choshu Riki is a living legend of Japanese pro wrestling. Even at age 66, his unrivaled charisma is alive and well. The show approaches its climax in the one-round, 60-minute battle. Mentai Kid appears in the main match for the Kyushu Championship belt. Mentai Kid followed Chikusen to Mexico to train and eventually became a pro there. He later struggled financially and retired from pro wrestling. But it was Chikusen that convinced him to give it another shot. His opponent is the defending champion of the Kyushu Pro Wrestling Championship, Genkai. Genkai had left his previous organization and left behind his past as a masked wrestler. Once again, it was Chikusen who helped him make his comeback.
僕と彼にしかできない最高の試合ができると思ったんで、僕たちがこう挫折をしたからこそ、お客さんもですね、より一層感情移入というか、僕たちの試合に感情移入してくれるんだと思います。
Mentai Kid, one of the founding members of the organization, once beat Genkai despite the 20-kilogram difference to win the championship title.
いろんな意味で挫折があったり裏切りがあったりとか、そういう思いをしてやっぱ悔しかったし、自分自身の弱さ、やっぱりこう僕もすごい弱い人間なんですよ実は。
It was a match where both men fought for their pride. It was Chikusen's passion that led the two back into the ring.
10年筑前が代表でやってきて、僕はずっとこうそばで見てきて、そのなんていうんですか、期待に応えるためにやってやろうっていうのが一番のモチベーションになりました。
命も救ってくれたし、やっぱ今あるのは筑前良太のおかげだし、10年後であろうが20年後であろうが今と変わらないまま僕は走り続けていきたいですね。
Their match embodied the spirit of two men who believe that they can recover from even the harshest of defeats. Pro wrestling is not just about winning. The all-out match between these two proved that fact.
俺はもうすぐキャリア20年です。いろんな団体渡り歩いてきました。いい湯も飲みました。だけど九州プロレス、そして筑前亮太に拾われました。俺は救われました。
今でも忘れねえよ。シオの体育館で高校生だった君がプロレスラーになりたいならどうしたらいいですか。もう一回言うなら忘れねえよ。俺に言いたいのは引退します。二人の姿が忘れられない。だけどその二人が名誉を届けてこれだけで九州の方を選ぶからあんたたちこそヒーローだよ。やっぱりこの僕らが僕ららしい生き方にこだわっているこの姿を子どもたちも含めてにしていきたいですね。それはもう地域密着の僕らだからこそできることだと思いますし、僕らは自分を肯定し続けた結果今いると思うんで、自分を信じろというメッセージを自分たちの姿を通して出せたら、それが最高ですよね。
No matter how difficult a situation may be, no matter how much despair you may feel, get in the ring. Because the view from the ring must be glorious. They may get hurt, they may worry, and they may suffer. Yet these men never stop moving forward.